Arjun Singh Rawat says, could you please shed some light on Chechnya and the Chechen special forces, who are believed to be one of the most brutal and ruthless soldiers in the world? It's a very interesting question. Chechnya. So I could give you a 3-hour account of the history of Chechnya, which is very interesting actually, but we don't have time for that. So I'll make it brief. Chechnya has an interesting history. As we know, Chechnya is an Islamic Muslim republic in Russia. Let's see where it is. It's in the Caucasus region. So this here, if you can see my mouse pointer, is the Caspian Sea. And this region here is Chechnya. The capital city is Grozny. All right. So it's in the Caucasus region. It is a Muslim republic in Russia. Now, if you look at the history of Chechnya, it wasn't always Muslim. The Islamization of this region happened just in the last 200 or 300 years, if I am not mistaken. It's not been a long time. So, what is Chechnya today? Chechnya, you could consider it to be, it's technically a republic or an administrative division in Russia. But the more accurate way of looking at Chechnya today is to consider it to be a semi-autonomous kingdom. So Chechnya is essentially a semi-autonomous kingdom within Russia. The ruler or the king of Chechnya is Kadyrov. What's his name? Ahmad Kadyrov? No, Ahmad Kadyrov was the father. What is his name? I forget. Ramzan Kaderov. Let me share my screen. So the ruler or the king, the de facto king of Chechnya, is Ramzan Kadyrov, this gentleman here. So he is absolutely loyal to Vladimir Putin. As you can see, he's facing Mr. Putin here. And in exchange for his absolute loyalty, he has been made the de facto king of Chechnya. And he has his own military, his own militia. So Chechnya. So if you look at Russia today, the overall growth of the population is actually negative in Russia. So it is below the replacement rate. The total fertility rate in Russia is below the replacement rate. But in Chechnya, the population is actually rising. So the rate of births in Chechnya is greater than the rate of deaths. So Chechnya is a great place from where you can get soldiers for the Russian army. And all of these soldiers are part of this private army of Mr. Ramzan Kadyrov, who is the son of Ahmad Kadyrov, who was a former rebel in Chechnya. So Chechnya tried to break free of Russia, become independent. There were two Chechen wars, one in the 1990s under Boris Yeltsin, yeah, and the Russians lost that war. And then a second Chechen war happened under Mr. Putin, and the Russians won. And so some of the rebels became pro-Putin, pro-Russia. And Ahmad Kadyrov's son is Mr. Ramzan Kadyrov, who is now the de facto king, you could say. He is completely loyal to Mr. Putin. He has his own army, and his army is loyal to Russia. And whenever it is needed, they will go and serve in the Russian army and take part in military operations. And that's what we are seeing right now. So I believe the Chechens have been sent into Ukraine, and they will be deployed and sent into battle, into a military operation if they are needed. And they have a reputation of being very brutal. So that's what I can explain in very brief. Very interesting part of the world.